So you might be wanting to stream your console through your PC so you can run it through OBS or Streamlabs OBS or whatever streaming software that you like, but you don't want to go out and spend the money on a capture card. And you don't really want to have wires going all over the place. If you're like me, I have a PlayStation in my living room, and then my Xbox is in my bedroom, and then my computer's in my office. So having these wires running all over the place is very, very inefficient. So let's dive in, let's jump to the desktop, and I'm going to show you 3 applications that's really going to take your streaming to the next level. Let's go. So now that we're back at the desktop down here, let me show you a couple of apps that you're going to need. One is actually pre-installed on, or at least it should be, pre-installed on every Windows 10 computer, and that's going to be the Xbox Console Companion app, which is going to allow us to stream our Xbox to our PC very effectively. So the easiest way to find that is to hit the Windows key on your keyboard or hit the Windows icon in the bottom left corner and just type in Xbox. And you should see Xbox Console Companion app. There's a Xbox app, which is the Xbox Beta app, that contains the games for, the Xbox PC games if you have the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And then there's the Xbox Game Bar, which has like little widgets that you can put on your screen. So what we want is the actual Xbox Companion app. So let's go ahead and click that. Now, your Xbox has to be on, and it has to be signed into the profile that you want to use. Preferably the profile that is the same profile that your Microsoft account is connected to. So when you're signed in, you're going to see a little green dot next to this connection button over here. You're going to click that, and you're going to notice that your Xbox should show up over here. If it doesn't, you can click add device, and your device should show up over here. Mine is already connected, as you can see. And then to get the video feed to your computer, all you have to do is hit stream. And from there, I have my Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. There we go. So as you can see, we're able to control directly with the Xbox controller. We don't have to be connected directly to the Xbox. And we can play games like this very easily. And I'm actually streaming this through, or I'm recording this through OBS. So this just goes to show you that you can take this this source, put it into OBS, and be able to put your overlays on it and make a really professional, really nice stream without having to go out and buy an expensive capture card and having a ton of wires running through your house. Because my Xbox is actually in my bedroom. I have a PlayStation that's in my living room, and then I have my computer where I'm sitting at right now, which is in my office. So that would be an amazing amount of wires to either run through the house, physically through the house and having kids tripping over it, or running it through the attic. And it would be a super expensive setup. This is a much more practical setup. The only limitation is your internet bandwidth. So keep that in mind as you're doing this. Games that require a lot of movement or a lot of concentration, like Call of Duty or like NBA or pretty much any first-person shooter where there's going to be a ton of action, it's going to be a little bit more taxing on the bandwidth. So keep that in mind. The next app I'm going to show you is called PS4 Remote Play, and this is how we're going to get our PlayStation 4 video and audio onto our console to be able to do the exact same thing that we were doing with Xbox. So the thing that you're going to need to download is called PS4 Remote Play, and I'll have a link to that in the description down below. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I've already got it installed. It always checks for an update. And what you're going to need is your PlayStation controller, and you're going to need to hardwire it into your PC. So and it just uses a standard micro USB cable. And then just like the Xbox, you have to be signed in, have to have it turned on, and signed in. So once you do that, then you come over here and you click start, and it will search for a PS4 on the network. And just like that, you have your PS4, and you can move things around and play it just as you were on your Xbox or your PlayStation. A lot of questions that I get when it comes to this is there a lot of input lag? Generally, no. I'm able to play Call of Duty pretty effectively on here and experience pretty much zero input lag. Again, it depends on your bandwidth in your house, how many people are streaming Netflix or, you know, whatever it is that that people do in your house, however much bandwidth they use in your house. So again, keep that in mind. This might not be ideal for everyone, but this was the ideal setup for me. One last thing, the third tip that I want to show you is if you're like me, I'm a huge Xbox controller lover. I love the Xbox controller. I think it's more ergonomic than the PlayStation controller. So I prefer to use the Xbox controller on my PlayStation while playing on my PC. So let me show you how I achieve that. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this guy here. And the application that you're going to need to download is called VDX. And I'll have a link to that in the description down below. But basically what it is it's a controller emulator. So I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up here. And you'll notice, since I have my Xbox controller plugged in, you'll notice that I have player one connected. Emulation type right now is set to Xbox 360 controller. That's not what we want because I want to play my PlayStation. So we're going to do DualShock 4 controller, and then we're going to click connect. So now if I go back to my PS4 remote play, I'm on my Xbox controller. I'm now able to use it just as I would my PlayStation controller. The only difference is you don't have the little touchpad up here, and some of the the share and options buttons are set up in a different way. I rarely use those because I think the menu button is the same thing. Yeah, the menu button is the same thing as your options button. I don't ever use the share button because I'm actually playing on my PC when I'm streaming this. So, and then if I'm not streaming on my PC, I'm actually using my PS4 controller. So that is 3 tips to increase your console gaming experience, your console streaming experience for your stream. If you like it, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave us a comment, check out our podcast. You can go to podcast.agamingmoment.com. I'll have that link down in the description below. If you want to support us, you can also support us by going to patreon.agamingmoment.com. Have that link down below. And if you love our logo and you want some of that sweet swag, I'll have that link down below as well. That's going to be merch.agamingmoment.com. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. And until next time, keep grinding.